Shalom, my name is Yehoshua. I'm making this video from Jerusalem. I'm an American citizen. And let me turn up the volume because I'm always getting informed that that's much better. Good. Again, I'm Yehoshua from Jerusalem. I'm an American citizen and a didactic scientist, the author of Humanomics. And it's two paradigms, the cognitive behavioral science first principle and the new economic paradigm, which will transform structurally the American economy. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, but first I want to congratulate Barack Obama on his speech and his response to the McCain-Bush economics. First of all, he is correct. There is a great disconnect between Wall Street and Main Street. A further extension of his speech and an example is a guy by the name of Mr. Paulson, not the guy who is the Secretary of the Treasury, but a hedge fund operator who made $3.7 billion in 2007. How did he do that? Well, forgive me, it's very laughable. Here is the very industry and the participants in that industry, and that promoted the product line, the product issuance of all of the subprime products that were distributed around the country that were trash, that were garbage, that were predatory loans, and you name it. And here is a guy who, from the inside in Wall Street, sees exactly what trash it is. And he waits for the opportune moment, and he bets against it, and he makes $3.7 billion. Well, yesterday, his same industry, well, he wasn't talking against it and saying we shouldn't do this. Okay, so, the fox is definitely in the hen house. Now, let's get to Tachlis. Sorry, that's Hebrew. We don't want to speak any Hebrew. We're going to speak in English. The bottom line. Erie, Pennsylvania. You're near and dear to my heart. There's 7 boys in our family. I'm the youngest of 7 boys, 5 surviving. The first 5 were born all in Pennsylvania. Okay, so I'm a Pennsylvanian by some extended logic. Okay, that's many, many years ago. I lived for the last 22 years in Jerusalem. Now, to get on with the purpose of this video is to simply say that Barak is right on target, and I'm criticized roundly for supporting him because they're saying, he's just generalizing and you have the specifics. No, I'm just a didactic scientist, and I produce the research, the models, and the solutions, and Barak is the guy to develop and implement them for Americans. Now we'll talk a bit about that. First, the economy is the central issue of the upcoming election. And before we go to what's going to create the jobs, and deliver them, I'm going to say just one thing. Basically, Barak is being accused of being a socialist, a closet communist. All kinds of terrible accusations are made. He's as American as apple pie. He sees what's right and he sees what's wrong, and he trusts in Americans just as I do, and they're smart, and they will back him, and he comes from really very good references. Ann Dunham, for one, that's his mother, and Michelle, and the American people. Those 3 references tell me, all this rubbish about he's a terrible closet socialist and everything, that's all rubbish. Okay, so much for that. I take his references absolutely 5-star. All right, now let's get on with a few other things. The most central thing that he has absolutely hit the bullseye with, that is absolutely right, and there's no denying it. It is this: the pie, the gross domestic product. The GDP is running at 14 trillion. Well, there's been a significant increase in the percentage share of capital owners, Wall Street, share owners, investors, institutions, etc., etc., etc. The 14 trillion has grown immensely, but the wage earners, the laborers, the workers, the people getting a salary and an income, that percentage has decreased dramatically, and in parallel, and most significantly, there has been a dramatic depreciation. In fact, the dollar has been emaciated. Okay, and that is a result of the huge 9 trillion deficit and the trade deficit and many other factors. Okay, now this is what Barak is complaining about, and he's right. So we have to get the question, and you know, McCain is saying things are great, and he's saying he's completely out of touch. Now, Barak, you're going to get a lesson in economics here. One I'm sure you already know, and as well as I do, maybe better. Okay, but I am still the author of the new economic paradigm. The question is, what is going to get America, folks in Erie, Pennsylvania, and all around America? Everybody wants to know, how are we going to get from there are 3 things we want to know. We want to know, how are we going to get from 14 trillion to 45 to 50 trillion? Number 1. Number 2, we want to know, when we do, God willing, we're able to get from 14 to 45 or 50 trillion. We want to know that this tremendous bias and discrepancy and inequity and injustice of the distribution of the wealth and the sharing of the national wealth is going to be vested with Americans and workers and scientists and technicians and all of this is the strength of the American economy. Okay, so, and thirdly, that we have the ways and means to get there. Now, this is the solution. Humanomics in general is the model. It's the East-West convergence model. The new economic paradigm in particular, President Obama, that will be the central principle of the campaign coming out of the DNC Platform Committee. It will be made the national platform of the United States by President Obama. It will be legislated and mandated in law to build a world-class global technological infrastructure based on the new economic paradigm model. The results will take us from 14 trillion to 45 to 50 trillion. There will be it'll require a 4 to 5 trillion investment. 60% of that investment will come from the G9, 40% from America. It will make America the most competitive economy in the world for the next century and beyond. It will create tens of millions of jobs. At the end of year 1, it will be creating tens of thousands of sustainable domestic content jobs a month through years 11 and 12 until we reach full employment. It will eliminate, again I say, the national debt. It will triple the purchasing power of the dollar. It will triple the value of the dollar. Instead of it falling through the floor, which it is now. It will drive the capital markets through the roof. Even the owners, they're going to love Barack Obama. But most importantly, there will be a fair deal, a fair shake. How is this going to happen? I own the science and technology. We're going to put it in an irrevocable trust. The American people and workers are going to own it. This is the wealth engine of the new economic structure that will America's economy will be fundamentally transformed and changed with the new economic paradigm. This is a win-win situation, and most importantly and significantly, it's going to as well raise up the LDCs, and it's vital. It's the most important. At the end of years 11 and 12, there will be no available workforce in America. We will have to reach out to the G9, and we will be transferring technology to LDCs, and the remaining 20% of the Rust Belt will go offshore with green technology to raise them up from disease and poverty and illiteracy in the lesser developed countries. Win-win situation. Okay, this makes sense. Yes, of course. I'm Yehoshua Yaakov. Barack Obama is a very smart man. Does he know all about this? Not yet. Not as much. He will. He will. And he will deliver, and he will deliver and he won't have he won't get mugged and get his pockets picked by a bunch of Washington lobbyists who will say, well, let us get control of this new economic paradigm and the technological. We'll build it. We'll finance. No, folks. Sorry, we've been down that road. Okay, so the pie is going to grow 3 times the size of it is, and we're going to get a redistribution of the wealth to a fair shake, and that's supposed to be that too is part of democracy, and a very significant part of democracy because it's the part that delivers democracy. Having said that, I'm a U.S. citizen, Yehoshua Yaakov, formerly Michael O'Donnell. I thank you for listening. I wish the blessed people of Erie, Pennsylvania, success. Vote for Obama. He's a win-win situation for Americans. Thank you for listening.